Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're doing something a little bit different. You know that space you probably pass through every single day without giving it a second thought? The digital entryway. Specifically, we're looking at the Google Gemini access point. Instead of geeking out over massive data sets or sprawling neural networks, we're going to do the exact opposite. We're stripping away the complex AI and looking at the absolute bare-bones text that stands between you and the machine. It is actually a really fascinating design puzzle.
Seriously, think about it for a second. Before you can access the sprawling, infinite complexity of a modern AI, what do you actually face? You aren't met with this flashy, complex web of data, right? No. You hit a highly intentional, entirely text-based choke point. When you strip away all the slick branding and the marketing, you are left with a literal, stark threshold.
So let's isolate our very first element directly from the source, Google Gemini. This is the destination. In the architecture of the web, this one overarching identity frames the entire interaction. It's not just a brand name, it's the promise of what lies beyond the wall, just standing completely alone on the page. It tells you exactly where you are and exactly what you are about to engage with.
But hey, a destination requires a bridge to get there, and that brings us to the binary action prompt. Sign in. Let's actually look at the English motivation built into this. Linguistically speaking, this is an imperative command, and that carries immense psychological weight. Digital design relies heavily on this imperative mood to actively motivate and compel user behavior. It doesn't politely ask you to, consider joining. It is a motivational threshold that demands execution. In fact, tech companies literally spend millions of dollars and countless hours A/B testing whether two simple words like sign in perform better than login, just to find that absolutely perfect psychological push. Without the motivation to obey this specific two-word command, the entire system remains completely locked.
Because by definition, sign in is the explicit action required to authenticate and pass that threshold. It's like the literal key turning in the lock. This establishes a definitive boundary. You are either an authenticated part of the system or you're on the outside looking in. There's no in between.
And once that action is finally taken, the final piece of our source text reveals the broader ecosystem. Google Apps. Because Gemini doesn't exist in a vacuum, crossing that initial threshold doesn't just grant you access to one isolated tool. It instantly integrates you into this sprawling, interconnected digital infrastructure. It's just a subtle little reminder of the massive wider network you've just entered.
And boom, there is the complete structural flow. Step 1, the destination is established. Step 2, the motivational action is demanded. And step 3, the broader context is revealed. These aren't just random phrases thrown on a page. It's a precise, chronological journey, moving a user from awareness to action to full integration, and it does it all in just 5 words. It is literally the ultimate stripped-down map of digital onboarding.
We live in an era of absolutely unprecedented technological complexity, yet the front door remains astonishingly basic. So, I'm going to leave you with this. In an age of infinitely complex interfaces, why does the entryway remain this stark and simple? Well, perhaps it's because true efficiency requires absolute clarity. The threshold doesn't need to be complicated, it just needs to be crossed. Thanks so much for exploring this with us today, and keep analyzing the structures around.